Hey everyone, welcome to another top 10 list. This week's top 10 list came from a friend of mine named Andy. Andy, thank you very much for doing all this stuff. Andy is a reseller. He buys and sells almost anything you can imagine. He's got some just cool stories on how he's run across different items. And me and him went to lunch, and he said, "Hey, I've got a bunch of older notes that I was just going to cash into the bank, and I figured before I did that, let me see if there's anything in here that you want." So we started going through stuff, and these are the top 10 things that I got from Andy. Some are just not too cool, but others are pretty neat. So he picked up most of this stuff for face value, if not less, and I'll get to that in a moment. Most of the stuff is either from customers or from banks that are just using this stuff in circulation. And like I said, whenever he sees anything neat, he sets it aside just in case that I'd be interested in any of it. So let's knock out the top 10 items I got from Andy. Number 10. Not the most impressive, but somebody paid him in $2 bills, and one of them happened to be a star. So he said, "Hey, I got this. You want this?" I said, "Sure, I'll take that." So I got a $2 star note, 2017A. It's circulated, so I know it's not worth anything over face value, but it's still a $2 bill with a star. I know some people collect stars, and if they decide to not continue doing stars, well, maybe in the future this might be worth something. So yeah, I put this in my I'll take it pile. That is number 10. Number 9. He also had a $10 star note. Once again, nothing impressive about the note itself, but if they discontinue the stars, I figure at least I've got one of these. So yeah, face value on this one, but nonetheless, still a star. Number 8. 10, 9, number 8. He also gave me 3 $5 stars. And so I decided I'll take those two. I mean, once again, we're just talking face value, but we're talking 3 different denominations of star notes. To be honest, I haven't even looked up any of these stars to see if they were rare. But the fact that he thought about me when he saw them and pulled them, okay, I'll take these as well as the other stuff. So that is number 8. Number 7. I'm not going to go through all these. These are all $1 stars. Every time he saw a star note, he pulled it. I double checked these. There was a couple here. Here's 2013B. That's not in the range. The duplicate range, of course, would be 032 all the way up to 096. This one starts off 15, so that's not in the range. This one here, also a 2013B, also outside the range. But this one's inside the range. So there's 1 in the duplicate range, 2 in the duplicate range, three of them in the duplicate range. So those 3, they might have a little value, maybe, but they're not in the greatest of shape. I'll have to double check with the ones that I've got left and see if I've got matches for those. One of the other notes in here, this was a 1969D star note. So that was kind of cool. Too bad about all the inking on it. But still, I mean, it's a hole filler. 1969D star. That's a good one. The rest of the notes, I have not checked to see if they were rare, but you can see there's quite a bit. And like I said, these are all circulated. There's writing. There's all kinds of, there's a handful that are decent. But for the most part, they're just your average stars. So since he pulled them all, I said, all right, give them to me. We'll work out a price. So those were all of the $1 stars that he had set aside, and I picked up. That is number 10, 9, 8. Number 7. Number 6. This is kind of interesting. These are all 1957 $1 silver certificates, all blue seals. And he bought these. Check eBay. He's more he is more daring than I am, because I don't know if I would have made the purchase. There were 40 of these listed on eBay, and the person put a buy it now price of $20. And so he bought it and then immediately sent that person a message saying, "Do you have that backwards? Is it supposed to be 20 of these for $40? Because you put 40 for 20. And the guy says, I don't care. I'm just trying to get rid of them. So 40 of them, he paid $20 for them. That's, yeah. Now, if I would have saw something like that, I would have assumed that if I would have sent that person money, I would have never seen anything at all. But lo and behold, they actually they went forward with it, and they sent him the notes. Most of these are heavily circulated. There's one or two that still have a little bit of color. And as far as serial numbers, I didn't see anything exciting in the serial numbers. But yeah, they're all 1957, 57A, 57B, you know. And these are neat. They're neat to have. They're neat to put around. That one's in really good shape there. So yeah, I'll just probably put these in a strap and tuck them away in my safety deposit box. That is number, what is that? 6, 10, 9, 8, 7. Yep, that's number 6. Number 5. He got this from circulation. This is a 1928 Red Seal $5 bill. Red Seal $5 bill, you're talking from 1928. This is the first small size legal tender printed. And yeah, that's how he got it. He got it either from circulation or from a bank, one of the two. So yeah, that is definitely a note worth hanging on to. The red seals like this, I mean, if you're going to collect red seals, obviously you start with the small series from 1928 and work your way forward. 1928 would be the most expensive. Not that they're that expensive, but they would be the more expensive of all the other red seals, and you work your way forward. Because if you get the most expensive one, it's much easier to fill the set. If you buy all the cheap ones and you only need the expensive one, that's a little tougher. So yeah, starting with the higher priced ones, and when I say higher price, we're talking what, $20 maybe. So we're not even talking a fortune on these. But yeah, a $5 red seal from 1928, definitely something to pick up and definitely something to watch for. That is number 5. Number 4. He had a 1934 Blue Seal silver certificate. The Blue Seals, I like the 34s because the 34s have the blue digit there. When you get into the further ones, they turn this gray, and it's just not as impressive to see. So for a Blue Seal with the blue numeral, yeah, I decided I'd grab one of these. 1934D, overall, it's in okay shape. I mean, it's circulated. It's got a couple little stains on it. It does not say "In God We Trust," so it's still constitutional money. You can actually spend this without breaking the Constitution or anything that the framers of the Constitution had in mind. But this one, yeah, he had a couple of these. This one was in the best shape, so I took this one. Series 1934D, $5 silver certificate. That is number 4. Number 3. This is a 1934C $10 Federal Reserve note. And this one's in pretty good condition. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's pretty good. When the light comes through there, you don't see any creases. There's a little bit of handling right here. It's got a little bit of coloring on it. I say that, I should just call it dirt, but actually when you're looking through with the sunshine, that might just be the darker print from the back. So this is actually pretty nice. 1934C $10 note. Once again, you got the car in the back. And that's not actually a real car. That's a composite of many different types of cars. So if you were ever trying to identify what car that is, it was not an actual car at all. That doesn't make it any less cool. $10 note from 1934C. You can see the obligation. This is where the obligation changed in the 34 series from redeemable in gold to redeemable in, what's it say here? Lawful money, right there. This note is legal tender for all debts, public and private, and is redeemable in lawful money at the United States Treasury. So yeah, that's the 1934C. Number 2. I got 2 of these. This is a 1934 $100 bill and its friend, and both of these are the light green seals. 1934 light green seal $100 bill from 1934. These are in pretty good condition. They're not perfect. This one does have a slight crease here, a slight fold here, and a handling fold that goes this way. Looks like there's a slight one here too. So yeah, we're not talking about uncirculated. We're talking 20, 25, maybe 30 on this one. If we look at the back, you can kind of see a little bit better there. There's that crease there, and then of course the center fold right through here as well. Still, $100 from 1934, and it's the light green seal. The serial numbers, you can see they're not consecutive, which makes me breathe a sigh of relief, because if they were consecutive, you'd be more likely to keep them together. But since this one is 0045 and the next one is 0046, yeah, they are not consecutive at all. This one ends in 37, this one's in 34. Not even close. They're actually, like I said, 45, 46. So they're not close. They both happen to be from Chicago. So yeah, that means I can compare this with the ones that I already have, and if it's better, it will upgrade, and if it's not, then it'll probably end up in my auction. Anyway, that is the 1934 light green seal $100 bill. That's number 2. And finally, number 1. This one was a little older. Series of 1928A, redeemable in gold on demand at the United States Treasury or in gold or lawful money at any Federal Reserve. This is not a gold certificate. All money in 1928 was redeemable in gold. So by them saying that it was redeemable in gold here, let people know that this was accepted as currency. The Federal Reserve notes, regardless of the denomination, could be redeemed in gold. In fact, technically, this is still redeemable in gold. Take this to your local coin shop. Give it to them, and they will give you gold. Probably not an ounce of gold like they would back then. Actually, back then you would have got 5 ounces of gold for this. But yeah, you can still get whatever, half an ounce, or not half an ounce, a tenth of an ounce. No, not even a 20th of an ounce, maybe. Anyway. So yeah, this was back when they still put redeemable in gold on the notes. 1928, and this one's pretty nice. This one's probably in the 40 range. I don't see any creases in this particular one. It's in a decent holder. Looking at the back, it's got a little bit of a handling issue there on the top. Oh wait, no, it looks like there is a crease right there and there. So yeah, probably in that 30 range, 25 to 30. Maybe a little better. I mean, it has great eye appeal, which makes it cool. So this one, like I said, 1928, a $100 note, still redeemable in gold, or at least that's what the obligation says on it. So that was pretty cool. And like I said, for the most part, he got all these out of circulation or from banks, and he gave them to me at a great price. So I was happy to take them. Andy, thank you very much for working the deal with me. I appreciate it. It was good seeing you. If you learned anything new this week, go ahead and hit that like button. If you like what you see and you want to see more, please subscribe. Love reading all your comments. Guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.